Good evening and welcome to v8sonline's live and exclusive coverage of the NASCAR Racing Truck Series, proudly brought to us by Sim Instruments. We're up to round 6 of the series from Iowa Speedway tonight, and I've lost my partner in crime in Des Hallam. He's taken on director duties, but we've got very experienced Anthony Kernich in the box with us. How are you tonight, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to be here.
Way, mate. You enjoy your oval racing. What brings you into the commentary box? Want to share a bit of your expertise with the viewers?
Yeah, I thought I'd sort of talk about what I know about oval racing and sort of put my knowledge out there to the less experienced oval people.
That's the way. You certainly got a lot more experience than me, so I look forward to being able to commentate with you for the rest of the season. The truck series is quite a unique, being a fixed series. Obviously, no setup involved, so it's purely down to driver talent, which I think brings a certain element which we're not used to seeing in many series on iRacing.
Yeah, so obviously because everyone's running the same setup, differences in times and etc. will come down to the driver rather than down to the setup.
Yeah, definitely. Got the championship standings for the Australian New Zealand Truck Series up at the moment. We've got Nathan Britton leading by 68 points to Mitch Aberhall. Wayne Burke sitting in third, with Sandman's Poise sitting in fourth. Timothy Jackson in fifth, Simon Walker in sixth, Tony Autridge seventh, eighth goes to Michael Schreier, ninth Jake Blackhall, 10th Luke Betts, 11th is Todd Galvin, 12th Jason Martin, Jay Kennedy sitting in 13th, Reese Gardner 14th, Rob Hartley in 15th, 16th to Andrew Wren, 17th to Jason Hardman, 18th to Chris Brooks, 19th to Wayne Anderson, and 20th to Tim Foltz. Few mentions in there. I think Jay Kennedy's sitting this round out, so he may slip down the order, but I'm pretty sure Sandman Clark has missed a couple, or at least one race, so he's sitting in fourth. He's poised to jump right up to the top of the standing once the drop rounds come into effect. Just waiting to get into the session at the moment.
So yes, with the drop weeks yet to take effect, the points tend to be a bit skewed at this stage of the season. Once we get to week 9, things will start to take shape, and we'll see who's in contention and who's not.
Yeah, that's right. Some people may not realise how the point structure works. iRacing drops some rounds, obviously, because not everyone can make every round. So we drop a few rounds off at the end of the season, drops the worst rounds, which can really elevate people, but by the same token, it can really drop some people down. Now, you're planning on having to go at the Pro Series, Anthony. Tell us a little bit about that, mate.
Yes. I decided this season that I would run the A car full season and see sort of how it goes, and try and get into pro and hopefully run this Pro Series and try and get into the NASCAR iRacing Series World Championship and become the first Aussie to start a race in that series.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very competitive at the moment, and obviously being only 5 weeks into the season, the points haven't really shaken out yet. So we'll see once we get to sort of week 10, week 11, see how things go. It's quite a tough schedule. We've got pretty much every type of track to contend with. We got a super speedway in week 12, so and with my my lag, it's going to be quite difficult to run well there. But we'll see how it goes, and we've got some of my favourites coming up, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think we've got the starting grid coming up on screen now. Sorry, my mistake. We got the race preview coming up on screen. We're at Newtown, USA, at AUS Speedway. 64 km/h pit lane speed limit, which I don't think should really come into effect tonight. Track length for 1.4 kilometres. 4 turns, your typical oval, D-shaped oval. 45 laps for the guys tonight.
Yes, and this Iowa Speedway is a very technical track. It tends to promote some pretty tight racing. Obviously, there's a different line required, ideal line required at each turn. So we'll see the guys moving up, moving down throughout the race, and making some contact with each other.
Yeah, it'll be good. Good to see we got a strength of field of 2,962 tonight. So that's strength of fields are definitely growing in this series, which is what we want to see.
Yes, it's always good to see some Australians taking up this oval racing, and hopefully we can get some talent coming through, and hopefully make it to the pro in the future.
Yeah, you might have some Australian guys you could work with in the pro series. That'd be something to look special for you.
Yeah, it's obviously quite difficult for our club to make pro at this stage of the way iRacing's set up and the way they run the strength of fields.
We've got the starting grid up on screen. I'll run through the top 10. We've got Jason Martin off pole, Francis Dunnett off second, Sam Mann's coming out of third, Tony Autridge fourth, Luke Betts fifth, Timothy Jackson in sixth, Chris Tarrant seventh, Simon Walker eighth, Robert Cook ninth, and then Mitch Overall 10th, and could run through the rest if you like.
Yep. Out of P11 we've got Wayne Burke, P12 Nathan Britton, 13th Justin Laxton, 14th Jason Grattan, and out of scratch P15 Julian Oligo from France.
Yeah, we've got some guys in there we haven't seen much of, but we've got some usuals. Keen to see Jason Martin having another run again. He had a really good race with Shane Van Gisbergen early in the season. He managed to take the win away, so he'll obviously be hoping for another good result.
Yes, Jason's a very capable driver. I've raced him regularly in the past couple of years, and pretty quick, pretty consistent, and races you hard. Francis is also pretty quick, so looking for potentially those two fighting it out for the victory tonight. See, the start of this race is going to be quite important. It can be quite difficult to pass in this track. Someone can hold you up if they want to, especially with the way the line in this corners works. It's difficult to pass on the bottom 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's not the longest track going around. I think they have the 2 laps behind the pace car before the start.
Yes, these tracks tend to have two laps under the pace car. Obviously, some of the bigger tracks don't have that longer pace lap, so they tend to run 2 laps on the short tracks, just so that everyone's sort of settled in and get gridded up.
Have you got a favourite for tonight's race, Anthony?
I'm looking at probably between Jason and Francis at this stage. They tend to be sort of run at the front pretty much every race, so don't expect anything different tonight.
got the lights out on the pace car. It's going to head into pit lane soon. Pace car ducks in. And we go live, and Jason Martin's got a good little gap straight away. Controlled that start very well.
Look for visual chaos down in turn 1. It's quite common at this track. Looks like they're getting through. Okay, yep. All through turn 2 and back straight for the first time. 45 laps tonight.
Yeah, the series has been marred with some yellow flags a little bit in previous races.
Looks like we've got some a lot of close cars in the mid to back of the pack there through turns 1 and 2 that look to be side by side, almost 3 wide at some stage. Top 2 seem to have opened a gap on the field as I expected to. We've got 3 wide in the middle of the field right now.
We've got 3 teammates. We've got Luke Betts.
Got a car in the wall of turn 2, and we got a big crash on the back stretch.
Yeah.
Robert Cook's in it, Nathan Britton in it.
Nathan Britton as well. I was about to
Luke
touch
Betts
on the
involved.
three teammates all running together there. Luke Betts and Nathan Britton both coming together. It's unfortunate. We're just putting the replay up now. You can see.
Looks like Luke Betts just lost control out of turn 2 and got tagged by. Oh, hit the wall and then tagged Nathan Britton in carnage behind.
Yeah,
a lot of damage.
The pursuing guys really had nowhere to go in that incident.
Don't think we'll see any of the leaders on the pit road at this stage of the race. 3 or 4 laps in, tyres don't wear that quickly.
Might take this caution and have a chat to Sandman. I think we can grab him on the radio. Hey, you got us there, Sandman.
Yeah, loud and clear, boys. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. Probably not much to talk about racing-wise at the moment. I just thought we'd give your livery tonight a bit of a plug with the YouTube. You've given up the Coke Zero for the night?
Yeah, it's just a special promotion that v8sonline are obviously very excited with the new partnership we've got with YouTube. And of course, a big thanks goes out to a good friend of mine, Tony Ryan from High Tone Paintworks, who put the skin together for me. And yeah, it's I think she's come up a treat. I think there's a couple of people saying that I should keep it on for a couple more races, but she's only a 1-race deal at the moment. But yeah, we're excited about v8sonline, the truck series, and Grand Am all on YouTube now, so it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely looks the part out there. You look pretty solid there in 3rd spot. You're starting to gap Tony Autridge a little bit.
Yeah, early days, mate. Everyone's just trying to get themselves into a bit of a rhythm. I can see Jason and Francis took off fairly quickly there. Those guys have got pretty good pace on board, as the qualifying time showed. So yeah, we'll just sort of get ourselves into a bit of a groove and see how the race goes.
This track being a relatively short track with a short lap time, we should see the caution laps go by fairly quickly and cars regridding for the restart in the next couple of laps.
Well, thanks for having a chat to us, Sam. Hopefully we don't have to talk to you again. Hopefully it goes green right for the remaining laps.
That'd be nice, mate. Appreciate the chat, boys. Have a good call.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, as I touched on earlier, just after the start, there's been a little bit marred by the yellow flags this series, but guys are getting more used to racing with each other because there's a couple of road races that are trying their hand at this series, which did know Anthony, it all takes time and plenty of practice.
Yeah, over racing's a very difficult thing to run well and consistently. You need good racecraft and obviously good speed and consistency. It's a little bit different to road racing, of course, where usually in ovals it's all about turning left all the time. So obviously with no right turns, some of the road races do struggle a bit, but obviously with practice you can get quite good at it.
Yeah, I've tried a few oval races. It's definitely a very different technique to the roadside. You're not really talking about tenths of seconds, you're talking about thousandths of seconds with the ovals.
Yes, because with some tracks there's a lot of wide open and not a lot of braking, so differences in line make all the difference, especially at some of the bigger tracks and super speedways. Obviously this AUS speedway, brakes do come into play here, so obviously a lot of time can be made there on the brakes. Certainly next week, once I believe we're heading to Chicagoland, where brakes aren't used terribly much, so drafting also will come into play.
Getting reports through that Wayne Burke was the first guy in the queue with new tyres. He's in out of 8th position at the moment.
Yes, there's obviously nothing to lose when you're at the back of the pack, mid-back of the pack. You pit on every caution and see how it unfolds.
He's definitely impressed, Wayne Burke. He's not too shabby on the road and the oval side of racing. As we go green flag again.
The top two have pulled away again. We've got same man looking. So we might have 3 wide of turn 2. This track actually does promote side-by-side racing very well. The banking angles are slightly different, so you can get a good run alongside someone. We've got 3 wide halfway through the pack. Chris Tarrant involved. Wayne Burke trying to come up on the high line with his fresh tyres.
As we got Julian Oligo inside of Chris Tarrant just behind those guys.
So they've come to single file quite quickly. Wayne's trying to make a pass there on the middle side of turn 3 and 4. It's quite difficult to do here. The top track does tend to get quite a run off, as Tim should on this occasion.
Timothy Jackson got a little bit loose coming out of the corner there. Gave up a bit of momentum to Wayne Burke down the inside. Brought him under attack from his teammate Simon Walker.
Obviously Wayne is making some ground here with his tyres. New tyres can be a tremendous advantage late in races. Obviously here, if you run 30 odd laps, you can lose up to 7/10, 1 second a lap. So new tyres obviously is quite an advantage. I see Wayne looking.
He's caught up to Tony Autridge pretty quick. He had a little look there.
Got potential move for the lead. Jason Martin looks to be struggling.
I have been checking out the chat under the safety car there, and Jason touched on that his car's only good for 1 lap. His driving style might be burning the tyres up a bit on this track.
Yes, iRacing tends to make these truck setups quite tight, so they don't turn very well. So obviously looking back from Jason now at Francis and Sandman behind him. Obviously not looking for a pass at this stage. Just biding his time with 30 laps remaining.
Yeah, that's it. You don't want to show your hand too early, do you? You don't want to show how you're going to get the job done.
Yes, and obviously with these races being quite short, caution's quite frequent. You don't want to be sitting behind someone for too long.
The top 3 are pretty gapped out from the rest of the field a little bit.
Because obviously this track rewards consistency and smooth driving. The overdrive corners you tend to fall back quite quickly. The draft doesn't come into play here.
Jason Brayton goes down the inside of Chris Tarrant. down towards that's for 11th and spot.
Got Julian looking inside of Simon Walker for P7. A little bit loose there in the middle lane.
I was having a chat to some of the drivers before the race, and they were sort of touching on it's hard to keep that momentum up on the inside line. You'll often find some guys carry quite a bit of speed into the corner, but ain't able to keep the speed going to make the pass stick. And I think it's sort of just through that with Julian. He really cannot get the job done at the moment on Simon Walker.
Yes, the bottom lane is it. Oh, we got trouble in turn 3. We got
Justin Laxon, massive hit into the wall. I think it was Julian just come up a little bit and tagged his back right of Justin's car. We're just going to the replay.
Yes, it looks like he's just tagged him in the left rear and turned him around, and we've had a couple of others get involved. Obviously these short tracks is not a lot of time to react. So we're halfway through the race here. We should see most of the field on the pits here. But when you run this many laps on tyres, they wear quite a bit. Should see everyone taking 4 tyres here. And it looks like we have the entire field on pit road.
Yeah, the entire field's hit pit road.
One thing that this fixed setup racing does allow you to do is decide whether to take fuel or not in a pit stop. So whether the driver and fuel can be used to adjust handling. So we'll see. We'll see if some of the drivers decide to take fuel or not.
It's going to cost Wayne Burke a little bit. I think I just have my camera trained on Wayne's car, and he had to put it in reverse to find his pit stall.
Yes, and that's a killer on this track. Looks like we might have Chris Tarrant might have taken 2 tyres. Yes,
yeah, he's
Chris
only
Tarrant
had an 8.8 second pit stop for Chris Tarrant, so that was probably just the 2 tyres. The next fastest was a leader, Jason Martin, with a 13.6 second pit stop.
Interesting to see how 2 tyres would play out, having this many laps. Yeah, this right side tyres here for Chris is going to be a handful. That's for sure. We're going to watch him in turn 1, see if he can keep it under control.
I think just taking the 2 tyres, I think could really upset the balance of the car.
Yes, it tends to make the car quite loose. Because we've obviously got the fresh right sides and worn left side tyres.
Yes, we're just getting the gains and losses up at the halfway point of the race. We've got some big movers. Julian Oligo is up 7 spots from way down the bottom of the field. Chris Tarrant with that short pit stop's jumped up 4. He's now in the 3rd spot. The biggest losers are the guys that were in the incidents. Luke Betts, he's lost 9, and Robert Cook, he lost 6 in that earlier incident. Apart from that, apart from Jason Grattan making up 5 spots, the rest of the field's pretty much stayed around where they qualified.
Yes, these short races, it's hard to make up positions quickly. And looks like we have Robert Cook has retired from the race, so unlucky for him. So we may be seeing a restart shortly. We should be restarting with approximately 20 laps to go, so with a lap time here of approximately 23 seconds, it's not very long, approximately 8 or 9 minutes.
Have you got an itch to get out there and drive these trucks there, Anthony, or are you just going to concentrate on the class car?
Yeah, I'm more into open setup racing. I don't tend to race fixed setup too much, and yeah, I have to concentrate on running this A car. We're at Richmond this week, so very similar track to this one, but I tend to focus on the A car at the moment.
The lights are out on the pace car, 1 lap to go until the restart.
And for anyone not familiar with oval restarts, we have the leader always on the inside line on iRacing. For anyone familiar with real NASCAR and lane choice, we don't have lane choice in iRacing. Looks like we might have a bit of trouble down in turn 1. Nathan Britton has spun around. Obviously struggling with that heavy damage.
You better get out of the way because they've gone green. Jason Martin's controlled the restart again.
Looks like Chris Tarrant on his 2 tyres is struggling very, very hard. Very, very loose, and Chris Tarrant spun around. Now he's below the yellow line. We might not see a yellow here. And caution is out.
Caution is out. Yeah, he drifted back up over the yellow line. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure if he was advised how loose that car would have been.
Yeah, looks like he might have got a bit of help there from Ortridge. And
yeah, he was
which didn't help.
Yeah, it was definitely carrying less speed than what Tony was.
You see, 2 tyres was a brave choice and didn't pay off in this case. We should see him head back to the pits for 4 fresh tyres.
No damage, that's the important thing for Chris Tarrant. Nathan Britton, he's carrying a lot of damage. His car is crabbing severely at the rear of the field at the moment. Looks like Chris Tarrant's not happy with... Oh no, No, it looks like he was trying to recover his position. Obviously he'd lost spots when he spun. Yeah, he might have got some crooked instructions from the spotter.
Obviously no one on pit road on this particular caution. We didn't manage to complete a lap.
We've got after the 3 restarts, the top 3 look really stable up there. They look like they've got a good understanding of what they got beneath them in the car, and I think you'll see the winner out of the top 3. That's my prediction.
Yes, it's very difficult to make ground quickly in these short races. So, and then the top 3 have remained the same the entire race. So, unless some major trouble happens, wouldn't be surprised to see one of the top 3 win the race comfortably.
Got a couple of cars throwing a bit of a dummy to the pit lane, but they've decided all to stay out. Nathan Britton, he's exiting pit lane at the moment.
Yeah, obviously a couple of heavily damaged trucks at the rear of the field. There's no harm for them to keep pitting and trying to get as much damage fixed as possible.
Yeah, Justin Laxton's headed in. He's going to try and get some of his damage repaired.
So Chris Tarrant has not repitted after his spin.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different decision from Chris. You'd think he's at the rear of the field, he may as well take on the 4 new tyres and giving it a good crack in this second half of the race.
Yes, usually when I'm at the back of the field, I pit whenever I can and hope that tyres gives me some advantage. Obviously being at the back with no one behind you, really there's not much to lose. Should be restarting next time by, approximately 15 laps to the flag. We shouldn't be seeing too many of these leaders re-pitting. If there's another caution, it's not terribly many laps remaining.
Yeah, no, I think you could back yourself to hold on the remaining laps.
Yes, there's no advantage to pitting 3 laps to go and taking fresh tyres.
Like you said, it's quite a difficult track to make up positions in these short races, so even with the fresh tyres, I'm not sure if you get back to the front.
No, it's very hard to make ground quickly. Looks like we may be restarting next lap. Yes, lights are out on the pace car. See if anyone decides to make a bold move into turn 1 and take it 3 wide. Restarts usually this track are usually quite manic.
Yeah, with the laps counting down, there'll be a few guys starting to get a bit anxious, wanting to get some moves done.
Yes, with 15 laps and approximately 23 seconds per lap, there's not many minutes left of the race. And if a caution comes out, then there's even less laps. The pace car in. And Jason Martin with another good restart.
Yeah, he has, I think
Tim Jackson
Francis
driving it in. Oh, but Jason Martin very, very loose out of turn 2. Francis is looking inside. Looks like he's going to try and pull up in front.
He has got the nose in front at the moment. Jason comes
As you can
back
see,
at him.
the Highline gets a tremendous run off the corner. Makes it virtually impossible to pass. Oh, we've got Sandman inside of Jackson for 3rd place.
Oh, Timothy Jackson just rubbed the wall there. Coming out of 2.
Should see the Highline prevail. No, Sandman's done a good job of keeping alongside. Got Jackson trying the very, very, very high and hard in the wall. Very hard line in turn 1 and 2 is the preferred line on this track.
He's not going to have any pain on the left, on the right hand side of that car. He's rubbing the ball nearly every corner except Timothy Jackson.
It's not such a tremendous problem here if you tag the wall every now and again. With aero and draftman in play, it doesn't really cost you anything. Still side by side for 3rd. Looks like Sandman should prevail down in turn 1 here. He's kept it very well alongside right there. This Highline's looks like he may clear him here.
Oh, yeah. Not quite far enough in there now. He is.
No, he's got him now. He's got a bit of contact behind. Ortridge is giving Julian a bit of a touch up here. Tim Jackson obviously struggling at the moment. It's not getting the drive off the turns that he wants. Oh, we got a little bit of contact.
Yeah, he seems to be holding the guys up behind a little bit. It's Tony Ortridge and Julian. Diamond Walker for that fact as well. They all seem to have a bit more pace than Timothy.
But still very close for the lead here. Got Francis again. Going to drive it in really deep this time and try and slide up. Jason Martin in the wall. That's going to cost him.
We've got 8 laps to go now. Do you think it's too early for Francis to make his move?
This is the perfect time. Got Martin alongside. You should see the Highline prevail here. Yes, and he's cleared him before the start-finish line. So got Orchard a bit of difficulty on the front stretch. Struggling to pass Julian and hold off Walker. Side by side for 4th place. Jackson in the wall this time. And that's cost him.
Yeah, he's definitely wiped a lot of speed off. Tony Autridge pushing Julian around the corner.
We've got side by side for the lead again. We've got Martin still trying. Obviously with these two racing, we've got Sandman closing up quite quickly. And looking inside. With 5 to go at the line.
Yeah, the guys are just struggling to maintain that speed off the low line, aren't they? They can't get off the corners quite as quick.
This track also has different banking on the top lane, so you can carry more speed naturally on the top side. It's a real problem with this track. The top lane can really hold you off if he wants to. Especially in some of the bigger cars. Start running the G6 on this track, it's a real nightmare trying to pass people.
Wayne Burke's managed to get past Simon Walker the last couple of laps.
So we've got a battle developing for 4th on back. 4 or 5 trucks relatively close together. The top 3 seem to have pulled away and it'll be between them for the win with 2 laps to go. We've also got Nathan Britt with significant damage. He's going to probably stay well out of the way here. It's angled about 45 degrees to the right.
Yeah, that car would be a real struggle to drive at the moment, Nathan. You'd have his work cut out for him. Just keeping it on track. We've got 1 lap to go now.
We've got Sandman looking.
They couldn't come across Nathan Britton at a worse time. He just gets out of the way of Francis.
Got 1 last attempt here from Jason. He's going to try and cut back to the bottom and with no success.
Yeah, so Francis comes across the line in first place, closely followed by Jason Martin and Sam Mann. As all the rest of the guys go across the finish line. Well, the second half of the race wasn't too bad, Anthony. Got some green flag racing in there, which is good.
This is always good to see some long green flag runs, especially with this track tending to be leaning towards a few cautions. It's nice to see not too many.
Just getting the race results up now. We've got Francis Dunnett takes the win ahead of Jason Martin. They had a great battle all race. Sam and Clark stayed just in behind him. Julian Oligo went quite well to come up to 4th spot after starting last. Tony Autridge in 5th. Timothy Jackson in 6th. Wayne Burke 7th. Simon Walker 8th. Jason Grattan 9th. Mitch Abrahall 10th. Over the page.
Got Chris Tarrant, who managed to struggle towards the end of that race, obviously with his spin and his 2 tyres, obviously couldn't keep up as that green flag run developed. And then behind him we got the cars that didn't finish or 2 damaged. Justin Laxton, Nathan Britton, and there were 2 guys who didn't finish the race, Luke Betts and Robert Cook.
So I got Sam Man on the line. How'd you find that, Sam Man?
Mate, that was brilliant. Really enjoyed that. The YouTube Silverado was, it was handling really well. Really enjoyed that high line and had a great battle there with Francis and Jason. But it's, as you would have seen, it's a pretty tough place to pass here at Iowa. There's, although there is a couple of different lines, there's only pretty much one fast line, and the guys are using that sort of off to turn 3 and 4 around the high side. But yeah, heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, we saw you sticking the nose down the inside a little bit. You just could not maintain that momentum off the corners. Saw quite a bit of it throughout the field tonight.
Yeah, it's so tempting because you see a gap down there and you know you can dive the truck and it will hold the inside line, but the momentum that these trucks carry off the turns, it really carries all the way down the straight. So as much as it looks like it's an open invitation, it's pretty hard to pull it off.
Yeah, well, thanks for giving us your thoughts throughout the race there, Sandman. How about you, Anthony? How did you enjoy the commentary box tonight?
Yeah, it was a interesting experience. First time ever, so we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season.
I think you're a natural, mate.
Yeah, obviously, with a couple of years of experience, I know a thing or two about over racing and the ins and outs.
Well, we might wrap it up there. Our first live broadcast of the Truck Series to YouTube. Thanks to Samman for running the YouTube livery. I personally think he should run it the rest of the season, but well.
We're hearing a lot of that up and down pit lane. You never know. She might make a return next week. We'll wait and see.
No worries. We might wrap it up there. The winner tonight. Oh, sorry, I've just been informed. We've got Race to Reality coming up real soon. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be over on the Twitch channel. We're commentating. I think it's a little Mazda MX-5s at Virginia South tonight. So not a bad little track to run the MX-5 around. So it should be interesting. So yeah, don't go anywhere too far. We might wrap it up there for round 6 of the Truck Series. Your winner tonight was Francis Dunnett. And thanks to Sim Instruments and V8sonline Superstore.